Welcome to Devlog 27 for Reave, a dark fantasy VR game we're making here at Alta. First off, thank you to everyone who joined the Halloween playtest. The encampment was filled with all of you, and many of you wearing the limited time pumpkin helmets. And then you all dove into the Fallen Bastion to test the new physical backpack, sliding doors, and all those other updates that we announced last month. And we're not slowing down, because tomorrow we're launching another brand new playtest featuring everything you're about to see in this devlog, and you're going to be able to claim the one-off Pioneer Well-Worn just for you playtesters. It won't be available ever again. This is a brand new skin for your backpack that you'll see in raids, and it's only available in this playtest. But there's lots more to update you all on too, so without further ado, let's dive in and see what you're going to be checking out tomorrow. For the first time in Reave, raids now scale in difficulty as you explore deeper into the Bastion. Now when you enter a raid, you'll notice something new next to enemies' health and stamina bars, a level indicator. The enemies closest to the spawn points will always have the lowest level, making the early areas more manageable as you begin your runs. But the deeper you go, the stronger they become. Venture further into the Fallen Bastion, and you'll start to see those enemy levels rise. First a little, and then a lot, until by the time you reach the central chamber, you'll be fighting creatures that are very dangerous. This creates a natural sense of progression throughout raids. As you level up, improve your stats, earn better loot, you'll begin to carve through the opening areas with ease. But each new section pushes you harder, demanding sharper combat and stronger builds. And once you've mastered the raids and you feel like even the central area isn't difficult anymore, well, that's where raid tiers come in. Every time you defeat a boss now, they'll drop a tier token, which unlocks a higher difficulty version of the raid for you to enter. For now, every time you defeat the tyrant, one of the chests will have a tier 2 token waiting inside. And then once you successfully extract, if you have that token in your bag, the next time you go into begin a raid, it will send you into a tier 2 raid, where everything hits harder and you'll see that enemies have higher levels, which means tougher fights, but also better loot. And also, if you're in a party, only the party leader needs to be carrying this token in their bag, and then all of you will enter a tier 2 raid. And yes, there is also a tier 3 beyond that, a brutal nightmare difficulty where even the most geared up players will find themselves challenged in combat from the very start. For now, tier 3 tokens can only be purchased from one of the merchants in the encampment, such as the one that unlocks when you complete the killer boss quest, but maybe there's another lurking in the dark that will sell them to you as well. But that does mean you can still now test out the full escalating endgame loop by purchasing the tier 3 tokens and trying out that hardest difficulty raid whenever you'd like from one of the merchants. This means you now have even more control over your progression, difficulty, and overall challenge when you play Reave, giving you a full escalating game loop where you do the tier 1 dungeons until you feel comfortable and have all the loot you need. Then you go up to tier 2 until you feel like you've reached your peak and you have defeated everything you can and collected all the good loot from tier 2. And then you can go into tier 3, where we're going to, over time, escalate things even more and give you better loot. Like I mentioned, this is just the first implementation of this difficulty system. Over time, you'll see different modifiers, enemy behaviors, and reward structures added to make every tier feel unique. But already it transforms raids into a ladder of challenge and mastery, one that grows with your own power. And of course, it's a choice, so you could run tier 1 raids forever, or embrace the challenge and move into tier 2 and 3. And a huge shout out to both the design and engineering teams who have been working super hard to bring you all of these brand new updates and lots more I wasn't able to fit in this devlog. I'm super excited for you all to get your hands on in the playtest that starts tomorrow. As you can imagine, with these difficulty tweaks and changes and new systems comes a slew of other updates and polish and tweaks to a lot of stats, weapons, enemy difficulty, damage, armor. All of that stuff has been tweaked. You'll be getting a fresh new experience when you play Reave now. Now, some of the eagle-eyed among you may have spotted a new inhabitant of the Fallen Bastion scurrying around in the background of some of the earlier shots in this devlog. So let me introduce you all to the Thrynn. These strange, corpse-picking creatures are the spiritual successors to the spiders, marking the end of our temporary prototype enemies. The team spent a chunk of time exploring and concepting different ideas for these scurrying creatures, from these incredible concepts by Angela, to the 3D sculpt by Ozzy, and then the animations by Matty. It all really came together and brought these creatures to life. And what we landed on are that the Thrynn are these unsettling, lizard-like scavengers that emerge from fleshy, echo-corrupted nests. Grotesque sacks of flesh that pulse and ripple when attacked. You'll find them scattered throughout the Fallen Bastion, and destroying their nests earns you some echoes, but individual Thrynn are too small to be corrupted by the echo energy. Unlike the spiders, you can actually now block Thrynn and their attacks. And when they die, they collapse in an eerie, twitching motion that makes them feel truly alive. The Thrynn mark a big milestone for the game. Every early placeholder enemy has now been replaced with one of our core, permanent creatures. The Bastion finally feels like it's teeming with life, twisted and dangerous. And there's more to come. Variants, mutations, and entirely new species are already in development. But for now, out with the spiders, and in with the Thrynn. The team has already been hard at work adding 2 brand new areas in their gameplay blockout stages for you to explore in this month's playtest: the War Rooms and the Library. Let's start with the War Rooms. This area is a network of crumbling corridors and fortified chambers, the remnants of what looks to be a desperate last stand. Barricades line the halls, blocking access to inner sanctums, and one entire section has collapsed into a cave system below, pitch black and lit only by your torch for those who are brave enough to explore. It's tense, claustrophobic, and filled with opportunities for ambush and traps. And then there's the Library, or perhaps more accurately, the Archives. This is one of the most atmospheric spaces that Sean has built for the environments of the game yet. Even in this early gameplay blockout form, Sean decided to add a little bit of art to help sell the setting and really breathe life into it. Towering bookcases, fallen shelves, hidden passageways, and tight hallways connecting to a large, grand library. Both of these new areas are rich in environmental storytelling, where every toppled stack and cracked wall hints at the civilization that once studied within the Bastion's depths. When you explore these areas in the next playtest, pay attention. You might just find hidden side passageways, secret chambers, and rare chests tucked away in the corners of the darkness. Reave rewards exploration, not just combat, and both of these new areas really bring that to life even more than previous areas have. And there's even more I could share with you all in this month's update, from quality of life updates to a ton of performance and bug fixes. But I also wanted to just let you all know that this devlog also marks the final devlog of the year, but not the final update. December is going to be a big month for Reave, with multiple playtests, major announcements, and some surprises we can't talk about just yet. But as this is the last devlog of the year, I thought it'd be fun to take a look back. And it is kind of wild to look back at how far Reave has come. From those early prototypes to some of the footage you saw in the very early devlogs almost 2 years ago, and all the amazing work the team has done since, leading us to this year with the reveal of the Scarf, the Wretches, and of course, the Tyrant. Plus the addition of so many new systems and features. It is so much fun to look back at the early videos and see just how much the game has changed and improved over these past 2 years. And we're just getting started. Thank you all so much for being a part of this journey, for testing, for giving feedback, for being there every month as we keep building Reave together. I can't wait to show you all what's in store next, and what else the team has up their chainmail sleeves to surprise you all very soon. And remember, if you want to join the next playtest, it begins tomorrow. Head over to discord.gg/Reave, follow the commands, and you'll get instant access. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next, because trust me, what's next for Reave is something you won't want to miss. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all in the Fallen Bastion.